who's going to be the president now? So somebody from their team literally enacts, the role of the president. She said, ro mat, ab ro kyun rahe ho? And honestly, I did not want to cry. Now, when we made Kutch Express, when we were kind of hearing the narrations, everybody was like, why are you making a film in Gujarati on 2 female characters? Like, who watches female narratives in Gujarati? Now, after the National Award, I think it's going to be even more, different, pushing the envelope kind of work.
Yes.
Because I think not taking a risk is a bigger risk. What happened was that after Uri, because I played a sister in that, suddenly everybody was calling me for sister roles. Manasi is somebody who is a quintessential underdog. One doesn't really know what's going to happen. You cannot slot me in any box. Because a lot of people were like, you're married or you have a daughter. How are you going to continue your career, especially in such an industry which is looks obsessed, which is age obsessed. I am here to do legendary work. Hi, this is Manasi Parekh and you're watching me on midday.com.
Hello everyone, this is Ocean Fernandez from midday.com, and today we are in conversation with an actor par excellence and now a national award winning actor. Please welcome Ms. Manasi Parekh. Hi Manasi.
Hi Ocean.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good to see you today.
Same here.
So first of all, has it sunk in?
I think it sunk in while I was walking on stage to receive the award. That's when I was like, oh my God, we did it. We did it.
Yeah.
It was just the sense of you've started from nothing, you've done it on your own, and you've done it the way you wanted it, and then that gets this kind of validation. It's just another feeling.
Everyone noticed
Yeah.
that you were in tears. What was going on in that moment? I believe Madam President also said something to you.
Yeah, she said, ro mat, ab ro kyun rahe ho? And honestly, I did not want to cry. But when there are moments in your life, for example, you're a mother, so when you've given birth,
Yeah.
or any moment which kind of overwhelms you. And for me,
Yes.
when something overwhelms me, tears are my reaction to it. I'm quite sensitive and emotional that
And
way.
very expressive.
Very expressive. So I was overwhelmed. I was just like, I love this moment. This moment is going to be there in my life forever.
Yes.
And it just made me feel like, there's somebody out there who's looking out for me, It just felt like that.
Mansi, when I obviously saw the pictures and all of that, the entire atmosphere, it's very intimidating for anyone. No matter you're a big actor, you're a small actor, you're a one-time actor, it doesn't matter. It's very intimidating to be in that arena and accepting the award. And obviously you guys had a rehearsal. But then if you could walk us through, what is the process when you get there and what happens till you reach on stage to get that award?
It's actually, because you said intimidating, I should mention. So there's a rehearsal, okay, that happens. Now, at this rehearsal, a lot of people come and a lot of people don't come. For example, people like Mani Ratnam and Rahman Sir who won 799 national awards, of course they can't, they don't need to be there because they know the protocol. Basically, it's to get to know the protocol, what you can or can't do on stage. So there are the anchors and they'll come on stage and they'll be like, okay, who's going to be the president now? So somebody from their team literally enacts, the role of the president. So for me, because it was my first time, I was like, oh, this is very interesting. They'll announce who's going to be the president now. And
it's like school annual functions.
Literally.
Yeah.
So, so then suddenly the gravity of, oh my God, you're in Vigyan Bhawan and this is going to be this big event. It just becomes like, okay, it's going to happen, it's fine. But then the next day, when you actually get to the venue and, you're in the same space as Mani Ratnam and Rahman Sir and Karan Johar is like a couple of steps away because he's on the same row. That's when you realize, okay, this is happening.
When that moment comes where you have not 1 but 3 national awards, to your name, does that increase your responsibility going forward? Does that have that kind of influence where, okay, now you have to be a little more conscious?
Absolutely. And I've always been conscious. I've been very selective. Even when I did television, I was very selective about the kind of shows that I did, which is why I did not do I did 6 shows, but everybody remembers what shows I did, even now.
Yes.
Like Sumit Sambhalega, Gulal, India Calling, these are shows people still talk about. And my film journey is 7 years old because I've just ventured into film some 7-8 years ago. So even in choosing films, like Uri was like, you know, a film that I started in Bollywood with. And then the Gujarati films that I acted in. Everything has been a conscious attempt to do something different. Like, I don't want to get into the run of the mill kind of work at all. And as a producer, more so, because, you know, like, for example, Kutch Express. Now, when we made Kutch Express, when we were kind of hearing the narrations, everybody was like, why are you making a film in Gujarati on two female characters? Like, who watches female narratives in Gujarati? It's all about, you know, family dramas or like slapstick comedies. And me and my husband, thankfully, we're both artists, and both of us are very clear that we are here to do something different. We don't want to do the same thing. I mean, there's a reason why, you know, we have an edge, because we are artists producing. So then might as well use that and use that to our advantage. So I said, no, as a female producer, I would love to back a script which has a female narrative. And so I was very conscious of the fact that, no, this is a film that we will make as per any good film. Hindi or any other language. Like, nobody should be able to say, oh, this is a Gujarati film. Oh my God, this is a Gujarati film? That should be the reaction. And we achieved it through Kutch Express, through all the films that we do. And so now after the National Award, I think it's going to be even more, you know, like different, pushing the envelope kind of work. Because I think not taking a risk is a bigger risk in the creative profession.
Speaking of which, when you stepped onto the role of a producer, it was a bigger risk in itself, because A, producer, B, female, C, Gujarati. So there were so many barriers and challenges.
So many.
But then, you know, you're a mother. So you know what a challenge is. And you're breaking the glass ceiling. You're setting the bar even higher for your own daughter. How did you make this all together? You know, this one pot boiler of the woman that you are. Please define that Manasi Parekh for me.
I think Manasi Parekh is somebody who people assume is very sweet and nice and very innocent, and, you know, like, oh, she's a... But actually, I have a lot of grit. I'm very gritty, and my being a mother has made me grittier. You would relate to that. Like, once you become a parent, no challenge is big enough, right? And it's interesting because I became a parent at the same time that I became producer. And I think parenting and production are pretty similar. Because every day there's a new challenge. No matter how prepared you are, something will go wrong. And both require tremendous amounts of patience. Right? So both were happening simultaneously in my life. So I think Manasi is somebody who is a quintessential underdog. One doesn't really know what's going to happen. You cannot slot me in any box, because a lot of people were like, you know, you're married or you have a daughter, how are you going to continue your career, especially in such an industry which is looks obsessed, which is age obsessed. And I said, you know what, I'm on my own path. So I'm somebody who walks my own path. I don't compete with anybody. I am here to do great work. I am here to do legendary work. I'm not here just to make money and to get my quick 2 seconds of fame and leave. And that's what I want to do. I want to raise the bar higher for, you know, anybody in any regional language. Okay, you know, if she can do it, let's attempt for more. And with the National Award, I want that for the Gujarati industry. Like, I want everybody to kind of be like, oh, you know what, let's aim that more films reach this level. Only then will the industry grow.
Any average individual aspires to be in Bollywood, Bollywood per se. But your journey has been very different from everyone out there. You know, I want to take you back in time. Right from your audition days to figuring it out. Basically, in the city where, you know, there's cutthroat competition.
Absolutely.
So many actors out there want to make it big. What was it for you?
I started my journey when Ekta Kapoor discovered me. And one would have thought, oh great, Ekta's discovered me. I've run a show on MTV. It's going to be easy for me. But it wasn't. And it never is in this industry, because you're only as good as your last show. And you've got to keep working and figuring out your next gig. And these lanes of Andheri, these are the lanes where I've auditioned. I've literally gotten out of my home at 8 a.m. in the morning with 3 pairs of different clothes and gone from one audition to the other, waited in rooms where 150 people are waiting for that same role, for an ad or whatever other work that you're auditioning for. I have auditioned, I mean, I love auditions because I think it's great to constantly, like, you know, it's like, it's like just like, you know, sharpening your tools when you're auditioning. And in fact, I auditioned even after Nirvi was born. Like, I would make Nirvi wait in the car and I'd quickly go finish my audition and then go back to
My
work. So I've done that. I've literally done that. Now that I think about it, like I remember the first meeting I did as a producer. I had to, because the Gujarati industry is based in Gujarat.
Yeah.
And I did not get any flights and I had to go for the meeting. So I had to take a train and my daughter was with me because I thought it's going to be a flight. So I took her with me like on that train and went for my first meeting for the web series that I produced. That was the first ever project I did. So, like there's always been struggle and hardship and I've always embraced it. Because I think struggle is what defines you.
Yeah.
And only because I've done all that and I've been through all that, does the victory seem even sweeter, because it's not handed over to you.
Yes.
You earned every
Yes.
bit of it. So I value and I really respect my entire journey.
In these 20 years that you've worked, 20 years seems like a lifetime. I mean, you look so flawless to say that you've been in the industry for 20 years. But in this journey, you must have faced rejections
Yes.
from all corners. But did that sink you down, back to like, okay, did you have moments where you were like, I don't know if I can do this?
Yeah, of course I did. I had moments where I remember, like, after a couple of TV shows, when you're used to fame, you're used to a certain kind of money, and then suddenly you're like, oh, okay, but I don't know when my next project's going to be, and then it's been 6 months, and suddenly it's a year, and you're doing ads, and you're doing sporadic work, but you're not doing anything, like, bigger.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, why is this happening to me? And it happens to all the actors out there, or any creative person. You're always in a space of either work and then gaps when there is no work. So for me, when it was new, I was not used to the gaps, and I'd be like, why is this? Like, I wish I would constantly be working.
Yeah.
So I would deal with it in a very sad way. Like, I'd get very sad, like, oh my God, I don't have work. And I'd get very cranky, and my friends would be like, yeah, stop this thing. Yeah, you'll get your next job. Yeah, just chill. And then slowly, I realized it's just a pattern. That's how this industry functions,
Yeah.
There are days when you're working, there are days when you're not. So when you're not, you just got to use those in a very productive way. And that's what I did. So then what happened was that after Uri, because I played a sister in that, suddenly everybody was calling me for sister roles. That's what happens sometimes in Bollywood. Like, they just like typecast you. I was like, yeah, I'm capable of so much more.
Yeah.
And that's when I turned producer, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to create my own opportunities. There's so many interesting scripts that I can already see that can be made in Gujarati, and let's just back it and let's just do that. Like, why wait for somebody to cast us? Let's just do it.
Ratna ma'am obviously is a
Yes.
part of the film, and
Yes.
she's an icon.
Oh my God, she's an icon.
How is the experience of
Ratna
having her?
ma'am is, I'll tell you, like, in the last 2 years, 3 years, I've worked with some very legendary people, Paresh Rawal and Ratna Bain, and so many more people who really inspired me. But Ratna ma'am, I remember when we were casting for Kutch, I was like, I only see her as the mother-in-law, And we said, let's see. She's never done any Gujarati films. Maybe she doesn't want to. Let's just send her the script. So we sent the script to her secretary and said that this is what it is, and we are producing it. We've just produced one film before this. Tell us what you think. And in 7 days, she came back with a yes. She loved the script. She's like, oh my God, if I have to do Gujarati, then this is the film I want to step into the industry with.
Wow.
And she's a ball of energy, extreme spitfire. Like, she is so on. And her energy is really very addictive, because everybody around her then gets that kind of
Yeah.
zest. So she was at it. She was working her dialogue. She was working on her dialect, her body language. And so when she came on set in Kutch, and when we started shoot the first day, she was there in character.
Yes.
So certain actors take like some time to get into that, but she was in the space. Like, and of course, her years of theatre training, go in that direction.
Yeah.
And of course, she's so intelligent. Like, she just knows.
Being a producer also comes bearing so much more responsibility than just producing content.
Yeah.
I think everybody mentions, workplace positivity and how you need to treat people in your
Yes.
workplace. That environment also counts. You being a producer yourself, how do you ensure, because I remember Ekta saying this at a press conference, that women need to become leaders
Yeah.
to bring about that change.
Absolutely.
Where workplace harassment or
Yes.
anything negative on that front is curbed or completely banished. What is your take on that?
Absolutely. And because I am a female producer, I have a lot of women working around me. For example, the DP on our film is a woman. Dhavalika, my production designer, was a woman. Nikki, who did the costumes, who also won the national award, is a woman. So when Ratnaben walked on set, she was like, "Good job, Mansi. It's great to see so many women, leading the workforce. It's just incredible." And she mentioned this to me on the 7th day of shoot. She said to me, "Mansi, I'm so happy and proud of you and Parthiv as producers, because whenever I go on a set, of course I'm treated well, because I'm a star, I'm an actor, people know me. But you are not only treating me well, but you've treated even my makeup guy, my spot, everybody is treated with the same amount of respect and attention. And that shows that you all really care for the people working for you." And that felt like, oh my God, she noticed, because you want to make sure that everybody on set is comfortable and everybody within, of course, the constraints of a Gujarati film, because we don't have the luxury of a Hindi production. So there are limited budgets. But we make sure that within those budgets, we give the best of facilities to the people who are working with us.
On the final note,
Yes.
Mansi, now that you're there, and there are so many women, young girls out there who are looking up to you, because obviously it's not been a cakewalk.
It's
I mean, 20 years is just a lot of grit and resilience on your part.
Absolutely.
What is that one piece of advice you want to give to anyone out there who wants to make it big?
Show up. Show up every day. No matter what you're feeling, no matter what you're going through, just show up for what you believe in. And it might take time, but it will always come to you.
Thank you so much. And that's a wrap.
Thank you.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.